Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. The I.D.F. has just demolished the home of a terrorist who killed 3 people in a shooting attack near the Israeli settlement of Khal Adal. On September 26, less than 2 months ago, the assailant Nimer Mahmoud Ahmad Jamal approached the back entrance of the Jewish community with a group of Palestinian laborers, and then opened fire on Israeli security officers guarding the gate. He managed to kill 3 people before being shot dead by security forces at the scene. Just a day later, the I.D.F. began measurements of his home in the Palestinian village of Beit Sulik for future demolition. And early this morning, border police finally razed the structure. Israel has made use of home demolitions to deter future terror attacks. The policy stymied back in 2005 but was reintroduced in 2014 despite international criticism that home demolition is an ineffective form of collective punishment. In this case, the military did not tear down Jamal's entire building and chose to only blow up his apartment. Things are ramping up between Israel and the Islamic Jihad terror group in Gaza. We're seeing intense back and forth threats between both sides, and now the Israeli army has just deployed the Iron Dome defense system over the city of Tel Aviv. By taking such extreme precautions, the army clearly sees a very real possibility of violence from Islamic Jihad on the horizon. Tensions first became heated a few weeks ago when the I.D.F. destroyed a terror tunnel in Gaza that breached Israeli soil. 14 members of Gaza's Islamic Jihad group were killed in the blast, and threats of retaliation have been escalating ever since. Rumor has it that both Hamas and the Palestinian Authority have been pressuring Islamic Jihad to back off from any attack, since an armed conflict with Israel would almost definitely derail the ongoing Palestinian unity talks. It looks like Egypt has a stake in this as well. We're hearing that top Egyptian officials are also strongly urging Islamic Jihad not to engage with Israel. Now, Islamic Jihad is primarily funded by Iran, but given Egypt's much higher level of influence in the Strip, they are likely to listen to what Egypt has to say, at least for a little while. Having said that, it's clear that the army still isn't taking any chances. An Israeli widow whose family was brutally murdered in a terror attack last year is now speaking out at the White House in protest of the payout that the killer will most likely be receiving from the Palestinian Authority. Michal Salomon's husband, father-in-law, and sister-in-law were stabbed to death when a Palestinian terrorist broke into their home during a Shabbat dinner. She and her 5 children managed to escape, and soon after, the assailant was shot down and neutralized. Just last night, Salomon was given the chance to meet the American peace envoy Jason Greenblatt in the White House to express her dismay over the fact that the terrorist's family will be receiving compensation from the Palestinian Authority for his action. The PA pays monthly stipends to families of terrorists or so-called martyrs who kill Israelis, an act that many believe glorifies and encourages more terrorism. The U.S. Senate is now gearing up to vote on the Taylor Force Act, legislation that would significantly cut U.S. funding to the Palestinian Authority in order to get the PA leadership to stop the practice. U.S. President Donald Trump has not yet committed to signing the bill into law, although White House officials claim he supports its objective. Rescuers are still sorting through the rubble after the horrific earthquake that rocked Iran and Iraq, where the death toll has just hit 530 victims. But even though Iran and Iraq are 2 of Israel's most fierce enemies, Israel has just shockingly offered to lend them a hand and provide critical medical aid and rescue teams on the ground. Prime Minister Netanyahu has revealed he made the offer to lend Israeli support to the disaster-stricken countries through the Red Cross, after seeing the heartbreaking images of men and women and children buried under the rubble. Perhaps less surprising, however, is that both Iran and Iraq almost immediately turned down Israel's offer. Netanyahu had said that Israel's real quarrel is not with the people of Iran, but rather with its oppressive regime, and this rejection certainly adds fuel to that fire. But to end this on a more hopeful note, it turns out that where politicians stumble, 2 women may be leading Middle East peace. A photo from the Miss Universe beauty pageant featuring Miss Iraq smiling and posing with Miss Israel has just gone viral. In a stirring and rare demonstration of coexistence, Miss Israel contestant Adal Gandelsman writes, "Get to know, this is Miss Iraq and she's amazing. Practicing bringing world peace. You go, girls." It looks like Israel is taking a new approach to public relations. In case you've been living under a rock, everybody knows that Israeli soldiers love to celebrate being discharged from the military with a big post-army trip. Well, 3 Israeli veterans from elite IDF units have just established a program called Israel Is, with the support of the IDF, to train soon-to-be discharged soldiers on how to deal with questions about their home country while abroad and promote it. 7,000 soldiers have already been trained in the program's first year, and a whopping 5,000 more were trained just last month. About 410,000 Israelis between the ages of 20 to 24 go abroad each year. That's a public relations army in of itself. With the support of financial donations, the new program is aiming to train 50,000 soldiers a year.
That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchuk, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.